Wait. Did we hear that correctly? Jim Jones's son was detained once more. Furthermore, this isn't just another commonplace scandal. It's wild on a hip-hop and love level. What on earth is happening here, God of reality TV? This large twist could only have been scripted. This is all too real, though. After the catastrophe that has been Jim's family drama, you didn't think it could get any stranger, did you? You anticipated that things would calm down following the arrests, the scandals, the endless back and forth. But nope. You thought the Jones family couldn't get any more shocked, but then BM dropped another bombshell. It's not Jim this time. Creating news stories. A son is enmeshed in a tangle so unsightly that not even Mona Scott Young could write it. You won't believe what the most recent twist has revealed. What led to his arrest? What does it signify for the love and hip-hop franchise as a whole? Is this something more serious than a publicity stunt? Are we witnessing a significant fall from grace that might rock the reality TV industry as a whole? You will be doubting everything after hearing what you are about to hear, so stay still. The son of Jim Jones has just prepared the ground for one of the biggest controversies in the history of hip-hop and love. You believed that music and reality TV drama were the main topics of this household. So fasten your seatbelts, because this is a nightmare that nobody anticipated. Known for his erratic public image, Jim Jones is currently dealing with the fallout from a legacy he established. Things have just reached a completely new level because to his son of catastrophe. Consider this. Jim's son was ready to escape the taint of his notorious father's name when he was pulled into a controversy so sinister that it would alter everything. An arrest, illicit drugs, and a tumultuous run-in with the law. Love and hip-hop rocked again, the headline said. Jim Jones's son detained. This is serious business. It's not just any old headline either. It's authentic. The son of Jim Jones isn't merely one more reality TV personality. At the moment, he is a walking disaster, and everyone is watching him closely. Let's now take a moment to appreciate the gravity of his predicament. Jim Jones has a history of pushing the envelope. Whether it was his rough and ready street reputation or his noisy public altercations. It is he who proudly wore the badge of controversy, got into fights, made enemies, and stirred the pot. To be clear, though, he is not the only person who has been dealing with the problem. It appears to be the one person Jim most likely attempted to shield from the chaos, his son, has now plunged headfirst into the same quagmire. The truth is, it's worse than anyone thought. Let's take a moment to go back. Jim's kid appeared to have it all together on Instagram a few weeks ago, living life to the fullest. He was attempting to leave his father's shadow and establish his own reputation. Repute and supporters were genuinely beginning to support him. However, life isn't always as it seems, as we are all too familiar with. The same young man is now being charged with a crime. And believe me when I say that this is not a minor arrest. This is significant news. The scandal has been made public. It's a mess. And it's the kind of tale that will cause you to reevaluate all of your preconceived notions about this family. What happened then? Let us now discuss the specifics. It seems that Jim's son had been enjoying his newfound popularity on reality TV far too much. Insiders claim that he had engaged in some very dubious activities that no one could have anticipated. We're discussing drug use, potentially some shady business dealings, and an exciting night out that descended into something far more sinister than anyone had anticipated. It wasn't merely a small matter. It was a serious emergency. Worst of all, he wasn't alone in what he did. He was apparently trying to hide it by using his father's name. Reports began to circulate that Jim's son had engaged in some unlawful activity, not merely the kind of things that are acceptable. There was no miscommunication here. This was a calculated make-a-move. That evening's police reports. Some startling information that will leave you speechless have been leaked. Jim's son was caught red-handed in a scenario that nobody should ever be in, particularly a reality TV personality. We are discussing an altercation with police officers that got so out of control that it was captured on several cameras. The drama doesn't stop there, though. According to reports, things worsened as cops attempted to calm him down. And I mean completely out of control when I say worse. According to reports, Jim's son began using his father's name as a type of get-out-of-jail-free card, shouting profanity and demanding special treatment. It resembled a scenario taken from a contrived reality television program, but this was actual life. In addition, authorities discovered that he was in possession of prohibited narcotics. Boom. We now have a complete scandal, and let's be straightforward. No one anticipated this. Nobody anticipated that Jim's son, of all people, would become involved in this deep. However, here we are. People have been frantically trying to figure out what transpired. To be honest, though, it's difficult to even comprehend. For his son to look up to, Jim Jones is meant to be this success icon and legend. In actuality, though, Jim has always managed to balance being a bad boy with being an outright troublemaker. What the heck? Is his youngster any worse off as a result of that? Reactions to the news are pouring on the internet. Despite their disbelief, fans are actually kind of enjoying the drama because that's what these days. Isn't that what we live for? Upheaval, controversy, and scandal. People hate that the mess is coming from someone they believed could have made it better, but they love it. It's nearly as if we are powerless to stop ourselves. We want to watch these famous people lose their charms. In front of millions of people, Jim Jones's son is currently taking the risk. And let's not even discuss the family relationship. According to reports, Jim's son was furious following the arrest and said his father had failed to come to his aid. Is it possible? This is the same Jim Jones that has frequently been on television, who is often in the spotlight, has gained millions of dollars, and now his kid is practically losing it because his father failed to come to his rescue. That adds another level of complexity to this catastrophe. Additionally, it begs the is Jim's parenting to blame for this? The question of what sort of legacy Jim is leaving for his son must now be given careful consideration. Is it a story of atonement or one of self-annihilation? Because the list of scandals associated with the name Jones is currently the only thing that is expanding. Additionally, according to insiders, Jim has been made considerably worse by actively involved in hiding some of his son's misdeeds. This family appears to be on the verge of collapse, and nobody is stepping in to save them. Hold on, though, because there's still a lot more to the narrative. Believe me, what we've just discovered is not nearly as crazy as what's about to happen. We'll go into more detail on the consequences of this arrest, the responses from the public, and the possible legal repercussions that Jim and his son are directly facing. Keep an eye out. It was soon evident that this was not simply another tabloid headline as word of Jim Jones's son's arrest spread like wildfire. This was the beginning of something much more profound, dangerous, and, dare we say it, explosive. Seeing as how you're interacting with the children of one of the most infamous people in the world you're never just dealing with the individual in hip-hop. You're dealing with a name, a brand, and a legacy that are very important in the industry. Jim Jones now, for all his achievement, isn't particularly renowned for being the most law-abiding individual. We are all aware of his turbulent past, his contentious past, and his open conflicts with the police, it appears. It seems like there is a new headline about him, his entourage, or the diplomats making trouble in one way or another every time you look around. However, what occurs if the following generation adopts the same behavior? This is precisely what took place. And believe me, things are going to get far worse. Jim Jones's son, who was previously mostly unknown, has been connected to numerous for years. There have been murmurs and whispers in the streets. However, This arrest served as the impetus to transform those whispers into something far more serious. According to witnesses at the scene, Jim's the street actions that have plagued the hip-hop scene for years were something Son was heavily involved in. Rumor has it that he's been hanging out with the wrong crowd, combining business and pleasure, and engaging in the type of group-associated actions that would cause even the most ardent rapper to reconsider. And the actual arrest, oh, it was more complicated than that. Not at all. Leak police reports state that Jim, in the midst of a very criminal operation that was masquerading as a straightforward family get-together, Jones's kid was apprehended. Eyewitnesses describe him as the ringleader of a group that was allegedly involved in utilizing the volatility of the hip-hop scene as a front for their drug and weapon-dealing activities. Was this what Jim Jones wanted to leave behind? Here's the worst part, though. Not far behind was the so-called hip-hop legend Jim Jones. Our sources claim that Jim was present when the arrest occurred and watched in shock as his son was placed in handcuffs and hauled away. Nobody was able to accept it. Watching his own flesh and blood being dragged through the ground, the guy who had always presented himself as his family's greatest protector was suddenly powerless. And let's not even discuss the gossip on Jim's response to the arrest. According to some insiders, Jim was angry at the media for attempting to portray his family negatively, not at his son for getting caught. It soon became apparent that all of this was a part of a larger plot. Jim Jones may be more involved than he admits, according to some. Ultimately, what's the difference between staying true to yourself and going too far when you have a family that has been established on a foundation of scandal and street cred? Those close to Jim claim that he has always had a dark side, one that has been concealed beneath a facade of celebrity and achievement. The sort of gloom that might have filtered down to his son. Let's now discuss the actual arrest. Those who were present as witnesses at the scenario depicted turmoil. The trouble wasn't only the result of the cops, and it was the spectators. This high-stakes drama was witnessed by fans, members of the media, and even other hip-hop community members. Additionally, first-hand reports of what transpired quickly emerged on social media. One unnamed source claims that Jim's son attempted to use his father's name as leverage, asserting that his father's identity allowed him to avoid arrest, when he supposedly said, "Do you know who my dad is? I can't go down like this." You could practically sense the cynicism in his voice. Talk about being cocky. Or perhaps it was simply the naive assurance that results from growing up in a society where you are exempt from the rules. But what does Jim Jones stand to gain from all of this? The street talk, the whispers, the rumors. What impact will it have on his reputation, legacy, and career? Let's just say that things don't appear to be going well. Even Jim Jones's most ardent admirers are beginning to wonder. Could it be that Jim's son is just doing what his father did? Or is this a situation where generational failure in which the son inherits the father's sins? In any case, there will inevitably be blowback, and things will get much messier before they get any better. Given that this arrest had taken place in the midst of a hip-hop and romance season, only made things more intense. In a swift response, the show's producers issued a statement expressing their displeasure with the incident, although they would not say whether this would have an impact on the next season of the show. Hip-hop and love, as we all know, live on drama, but even they weren't ready for this amount of drama. The show's ratings are going to soar. That much is certain. But at what price? According to insiders, the show's producers are already frantically trying to figure out how to fit this unexpected turn into their plot. This incident will undoubtedly be featured prominently in upcoming episodes, but everyone is wondering how this will impact the relationships amongst the other cast members. Is this Jim's redemption narrative, or will his son end up being the next antagonist on the show? The producers are aware that they are dealing with a difficult situation, and fans are anxiously anticipating answers. However, what does Jim Jones himself stand to gain from this? It's evident that his reputation is at risk. The harm to the family's reputation has already been done, even if the accusations against his son prove to be unfounded or overblown. Jim has centered his entire career on being the hip-hop bad boy. However, it appears that he may be up against a fight that neither fame nor wealth can resolve. The public is witnessing the family turmoil. And it cannot be concealed. The public's response is becoming more vocal as the days go by. People are looking for answers. They want to know the truth and the extent of the scandal. Will Jim Jones support his son, or will he sever his relationship in order to save his career? What about his devoted followers? When the time comes, will they support him or will they turn away? When things get hard, one thing is certain, but only time will tell. Jim Jones's son's arrest has sparked a blaze that is far from being extinguished. Additionally, with every new information, the situation is going to become even more volatile. By now, the public's response has gotten out of control, and the story has taken a crazy turn. As additional information on Jim's arrest as Jones's son begins to emerge, the public backlash intensifies into a raging maelstrom. A simple arrest is no longer the only issue here. It concerns the fall of an entire empire. And now, the effects are not limited to the music industry or the Jim Jones family. Could there be legal repercussions from this story that we haven't even considered? Let's take a closer examination of the criticism. We must first discuss the speculations that are going around regarding the possible legal consequences. Unnamed sources close to the family are rumoring that Jim's kid might face significant charges. Not just an arrest, but accusations that might topple a whole social network. Is there a larger conspiracy going on here? Or is this all a setup? The issue is that the public is unable to make a decision. According to some, the Jim Jones empire may be on the verge of collapse. Would he lose everything? His brand, his power, his music? According to credible unnamed insiders, Jim has been the subject of an investigation for months for a number of other dubious acts, many of which may be connected to his son's activities. According to sources, Jim Jones might be involved in criminal activity that extends well beyond his links on the streets. The entertainment sector and the music industry are not controversies or nothing new to them, but the real shocker is about to happen. Is it possible that Jim Jones is being investigated? Could his economic empire, which has been established on a foundation of street cred and tough guy appeal, be threatened by federal officials? His past has been linked to everything from drug trafficking to money laundering. And now everything is in the limelight because of his son's detention. You can bet your bottom dollar that this won't be ignored. But for a second, let's be honest. There is more to this than just Jim Jones. This concerns the fundamental underpinnings of the hip-hop sector. The entertainment industry as a whole will be rocked if Jim is found guilty of anything illegal. Rumors of covert transactions, partnerships with dubious individuals, and the hip-hop scene has always been surrounded by illicit money. Is this the point at which the truth is revealed? Will everything fall apart like so many other well-known families have in the past? Them? There might be severe legal repercussions if it is true. A full-scale scandal might result from the investigation, with government organizations examining everything from tax evasion to global ties. It won't end there either. The public may demand answers if the family is involved. Insist that Jim and his son elucidate the extent of this rabbit hole. Jim's son, meanwhile, has been oddly silent in spite of the criminal allegations. What is his version of events? Is someone larger silencing him? Or is there a plot point that we simply do not yet know? Is there something he knows but isn't sharing? Could all of this have been planned out as part of a bigger scheme by an even more powerful person? The suspense is growing as none of these questions have been resolved. Meanwhile, the internet is rife with hypotheses and social media is booming. Claims and conjectures regarding the actual situation. Fans and critics alike are analyzing every detail of the story on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. According to some, Jim has others think he's preparing for a public confrontation that will be as nasty as it is amusing, while others have already started to distance himself from the problem. The true question, though, is this. Could Jim be about to betray his own son? Is a betrayal in the public eye imminent? Or will he put in even more effort and fight back, prepared to reveal the people behind the scenes? This has never happened before. In the era of rapid access to knowledge, nothing is kept secret for very long. Researchers are unearthing old interviews, deleted social media posts, and dubious relationships that could connect Jim Jones and his son to some of the most sinister several facets of the entertainment industry. We can only speculate as to how far this will go now that the story is making its way into the mainstream media. Here's the worst part, though. Are we just beginning? Are there going to be any further revelations? It's becoming increasingly obvious that there's something far more significant behind the issue, as additional stories come in from those enigmatic, anonymous sources. At first, nobody realized. We are discussing a vast, pervasive network of deception, manipulation, and lies, and the Jones family is at the center of it all. In light of this, where does Jim Jones, his as well as the millions of admirers who have stood with them for years, son? What happens if all they've worked so hard to achieve suddenly collapses? What is the extent of the fallout? Will Jim's son be compelled to come clean about his role in this mess? Or will someone else bear the blame on his behalf? Will Jim lose everything he has worked for, including his career and family? Time will tell. But in the meantime, the world is waiting to see what happens in this spectacular story's next chapter. After the incident, you can expect that the hip-hop scene and the entertainment sector as a whole will never be the same. The full truth might be around the corner, just when you thought it couldn't get much stranger. Thus, pay attention. There you have it then. The startling disclosures, the astounding turns, and the disintegration of Jim Jones's universe in front of our very eyes. However, the question still stands, what will come next? Is this the only hint? Of the iceberg? Are we about to witness even more significant scandals? Or is there more to the tale than is generally understood? Next up is something you won't want to miss. The truth is out there, and piece by piece we're getting closer to discovering it. What do you think then? Do you think Jim Jones has been concealing more sinister secrets? Is his son a victim in this mess? Or is there something darker at work? What does the Jones family's future hold? And after all the dust settles, who will be standing? Settles. Post your ideas, hypotheses, and opinions in the space provided below. We would want to speak with you. Speculation has been rife on the internet, and now it's time for you to contribute to the discussion. Are you prepared to discover the startling reality before anybody else does? Remember to use the like button if you're still in disbelief about what has happened. Disclosed and sign up for more crazy stories that go viral and disrupt the internet. I assure you that you do not wish to miss the upcoming blockbuster update. Additionally, if you haven't already, click the notification button, ring, allowing you to be the first to anticipate when the following chapter is dropped in this explosive controversy. Keep an eye out because we have only just begun.